Hi everyone and welcome. Happy New Year. I'm very excited for this video, my first video of the new year, and it's going to be a chatty one. I'm going to just probably ramble on about random topics. You guys seem to like the last video that I did like this, so if you're up for that then join me. I'm going to do some laundry while I'm talking to you guys and get that done. I also have my tea here, so if you have laundry or dishes or ironing or something to do, you can do that while you listen to my random ramblings, and make sure you have a tea because everyone deserves tea, don't they? So I thought we'd just start off with a little chat. Yeah, very excited. I've missed you guys. I've not filmed in a couple of weeks because I took a little break and I feel like I've missed it. I've really missed chatting with you guys and interacting, so I'm very excited to be back with a good old chatty video. Alrighty, so I'll just update you guys on what's been happening with us. So it's been Christmas. We've had Christmas, obviously. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. Our Christmas was pretty good. We really enjoyed Christmas. Christmas Day itself, everyone was well, thank goodness. I know a lot of people were sick over Christmas, so we were lucky that we were well over Christmas. And Christmas Day itself was great. I don't think we had a single tantrum from Samuel on Christmas Day, which was amazing because I thought he'd get overtired and super upset, but actually it was totally fine. We went to my mum's house and had dinner there and did all sorts of fun things and had all the presents and all the usual things, so we had a great old time. But then this last week we've been sick, just not a huge sickness, just like a little sickness. So we've had colds. Samuel got the cold first and then Noah got the cold, and now I've got it and Philip's got it, so I'm really a bit under the weather, but I'm not that bad, you know. It's fine, like compared to what I could have, it's fine, isn't it? So that, but we also, the major thing we had in our house this week was conjunctivitis. We've not had conjunctivitis since Samuel was a baby. So when Samuel was a baby he had conjunctivitis and it was horrible because it gave us this horrible like thick ointment which was impossible to put into a baby's eyes. Like literally impossible to put an ointment to baby's eyes, but we somehow managed it and it was actually very effective, but it was just really hard. So we went to the pharmacy and tried to get something similar and they wouldn't give anything for Noah because he's under 2 and he need a GP appointment, and like this week everything's shut, so it's impossible. So that was fun. So he's not got anything, and Samuel, we managed to get some drops for Samuel, but annoyingly Samuel's eyes have cleared up really fast and within only a couple of days. But Noah's still got conjunctivitis, so we still got it's bacterial conjunctivitis, so it's like a really sticky one, which is fun. Yeah, that seems to be the case in our house this week. But what we have been doing, so I'll just give you a little tip if you guys have conjunctivitis or are going to get it in the future. A little tip is to get rid of all the green stuff with salt water, because that helps to clear it. You can put a little bit of salt water in the eye as well, which is recommended, and that really helped I think with Samuel. And then we also put breast milk in the boy's eyes because again that's meant to be a really great thing to help get rid of it naturally. So that seemed to have worked really effectively with Samuel, not so much with Noah, so we're going to continue persevering with Noah, and if it's still not good next week we're going to go get him some drops or ointment or whatever they want to give us. So that's been our little fun this week. So we have been a bit under the weather, kind of just staying inside in the bit between Christmas and New Year. It is now New Year's Eve, but by the time you see this it'll be New Year's, so happy New Year's guys. Very exciting. I know a lot of people are a bit dubious about the new year. I wonder how you are all feeling about it. I know a lot of it's to do with COVID and all that, and I'm not really going to chat about that because I just don't like to chat about stuff like that really, because it's just kind of depressing, isn't it? But I wouldn't say I'm optimistic because I'm not an optimistic person, but I am cautiously optimistic for the coming year. I'm trying to force myself to be optimistic that it's all going to be good, and I'm making plans for what we're going to be up to. So yeah, leave me a comment, let me know how you're feeling about the new year ahead in terms of your life or just kind of the world in general. Because in terms of my life I'm feeling good. In terms of the world in general maybe not so much, but that's just kind of a thing that's, I just feel like the world, everyone knows the world's getting worse. There's more horrible things happening every single year. And it wasn't really something that bothered me particularly until I had kids, and now you're thinking about the world your kids are going to grow up in, you know, and so it's a bit of a different story. But again, what can you really do about it? Like, how much are we going to, we can't add a single hour to our life by worrying, as it says in the Bible. So I just try and focus on that. I'm not very good at it. I need to get better at that. So yeah, that's my thoughts currently on the new year. I thought I would just chat a little bit about New Year's resolutions now, just keep in with the theme of New Year's and talk about New Year's resolutions. Oh, I need to sneeze. Oh, I hate that when you can't sneeze, you know, and it's like tingling your nose. Oh. So I thought I'd chat about New Year's resolutions, and I'm not really a person that makes New Year's resolutions. I do think in this week between Christmas and New Year, I think, oh, what do I want to do next year? What do I want to achieve? That kind of thing. But I read Jefferson Bethke's 2 books actually. He's got 2 books now which I've read. So I read Take Back Your Family, which I did really enjoy. And I also read To Hell with the Hustle, which is one I read first because he brought it out first. Both those books are really great. And in the first one, To Hell with the Hustle, he talks about New Year's resolutions and how they're not really effective because you're thinking about the kind of long-term goal, which is kind of, it seems too far away, and so when you fail, which you're inevitably going to fail at some point in the year, then you just feel like a complete failure. So instead of talking about New Year's resolutions, he suggests you talk about more like habits and forming habits, and that's what's really effective. And this backs up a lot of other stuff that I've watched where people say to get something done, like to start something, and it seems like a huge task, you want to just give yourself, say, half an hour and just say, I'm going to do a little bit, I'm going to do half an hour every day. And half an hour every day seems a lot more achievable than, say, I want to achieve this by the end of the year, which seems so far away and so difficult. So you can achieve half an hour every day pretty much, and one day, if you don't do it one day, it's just one day, you know, and you can do it the next day. And half an hour every day is really the way to start building habits. And what Jeff is talking about is how habits are really how you build the identity that you want and the character that you want, which is what ultimately the goal is. So for example, instead of saying I want to eat healthy this year, which is such a broad kind of statement, isn't it? You can say I want to eat an apple every day this year, or I want to eat a banana 5 days a week. And that's much more of a small achievable goal. The example I think he gives in the book is running a 10k. So I was running. So instead of saying I want to run a 10k by this time next year, you can talk about identity and saying I want to be a runner, so I'm going to run 30 minutes 5 days a week. And that's a much smaller habit that you can get into. So I'm really interested in that whole concept, and so I think we're going to focus on habits, because habits is really what drives our identity and changes us, and that's kind of the important thing to me anyway. So one of the habits that we want to get into, and I've convinced Philip, I think, to get on board with this as well, is we want to get into the habit of having Sabbath in terms of having, so we're Christians, if you guys didn't know, so instead of having the Sabbath being just a kind of normal day but we go to church kind of thing, which kind of is what it ends up being with kids, we want to make the intentional Sabbath where we don't work, we don't look at our phones or social media, which is a difficult one. We don't do certain things so that we can make space for doing things that are filled with meaning, which is when you've got little kids, it has to be spending time with your kids and doing something meaningful together as a family, having a special meal maybe with candles. Really, it's going to be really simple things because we do have really little kids, so it is going to be very, very simple things. But we want to try and do that. We want to work up to maybe it being a weekly thing, but we're going to start a 2-week thing of a 24-hour period where we do all these things. So from, like, I don't know, for example, a Saturday night to a Sunday night, we will do all of these things, and we will be very intentional about it. And all this, and what Jeff is talking about in the book, is how the world is so against us taking a break like this and taking time away from it, and how it's really just so essential to our well-being. All of you guys will know, if you're mums and you feel burnt out, that's because we're not taking time to stop and kind of just be with ourselves, with God on the Sabbath. So that's how I felt a bit burnt out this year, because we haven't taken that time. So I think we really want to try and take that time. What it's going to actually look like has yet to be determined. It's going to be very simple and basic with little tiny kids, but we really want to be intentional about that. And the thing that I really want to be intentional about is the turning off of the phones and the social media, because social media comes to drives a lot of I mean, it's not like I look at it a lot of the day, but if you're looking at it a little bit throughout the day, it's starting to change and shape who you are, isn't it? And do I really want the world, the culture, to be shaping changing and shaping who I am, or do I want that to be God? And so in order for it to be God, you have to kind of change your habits to suit that. So the Sabbath is one of those things, small habits that I need to reinstate. Like I need to make sure Bible study gets done every day for like half an hour. Hasn't happened a huge amount this year because of the baby. I'm going to really reinstate that habit. Things like reading for a little bit every night, being more intentional with praying, sewing. Like I've been doing this little sewing deer thing. If you guys have been watching my videos for a long time, you'll know I've been doing this little deer thing for a very long time, and it really needs to get done. But things like that, like a little deer sewing thing. I'm not really into crafts, but I know crafts can be a really great way to kind of relax your mind, and that's really what's needed. Be more intentional about self-care, paint my nails every now and again, all that stuff. So that's what I'm thinking, trying to instill good habits for us and for our children. We have the typical kind of ones, like we do want to eat more healthy, but we don't know what that's going to look like in terms of habit yet. And similarly with exercising, want to exercise more. And that actually brings me on to my priorities. So my priorities for my kids when they're little, and it has been this for quite a long time, I try and keep it really simple. My priorities for my kids are outdoor time and reading. For me, in the young years, that I personally think that is the most important thing for them to be doing almost every day, if not every day. So we really try and incorporate that into our day. We're really good at reading. I like to read with the kids, so I read with Samuel every day. We always do it at bedtime, but we do it throughout the day usually as well. So I feel like we're quite good at that one. But outdoor time, not so good, because in Scotland it is dark and wet and I just don't want to go outside. But that's more a me thing rather than a them thing. So we want to make sure we're doing a lot of more outdoor time. And those are the two kind of priorities that I have for my kids. And that looks like trying to get outdoors every day, even just for 5 minutes. And that looks like reading at bedtime and then throughout the day as well. But we're quite good at the reading one. Also, another thing I want to think about this year is I want to make sure we focus on the things that we can do and not on the things that we can't do. Because I get so caught up, especially this is something about social media and watching people on YouTube. There's so much good content out there. There's so many good things that you're being encouraged to do. You're being encouraged to spend your time on this, like charity, or giving money to this charity, and you're being encouraged to share this about this cause and that, and or spend your time in all these different things, and these are all good things to spend your time in. And there's so many causes out there that you think that is an amazing cause. Like there's just so many amazing causes out there that you can spend your time and invest your time into. But when you have little kids, like you really need to pick and choose what you can actually spend your time in. I mean, no one can spend their time on everything, right? You have to pick like your thing, especially in short terms, like years, when you have little kids. So I'm really trying to focus on what is it that we are going to do this year, and not try and do loads of things, completely burn ourselves out, because that's not helpful for anyone. So for example, we don't go to the Bible studies almost ever. Philip sometimes goes. I never go to the Bible studies at our church. I never make the prayer meetings. We do always make the weekly Sunday meeting, but that's the only meeting we tend to make. And it's a bit of a shame actually, because we kind of miss out on time with our church family and stuff. But I just think we just can't do it at this stage in our lives. Like it's just not something we can commit to. Whereas we run the children's club on a Wednesday night at our church, and that is something that we've committed to and that we need to do, and that takes up a lot of time during term time. And so that is something that we are doing. That's one of our major things that we do, and we want to put a lot of energy and effort into that, rather than splitting our time with all these different things and doing none of them right. You know, you want to do one or two things, you want to do them right. So our children's club is what we do for our church, and then we do a church meeting on a Sunday. But when it comes down to it, like that plus just living life with our kids, trying to be intentional with our kids, outdoor time, reading, all that stuff, informing the habits like Sabbath, it takes up a lot of time, you know. And I don't have time to go out and volunteer anymore, or to go and help this cause or that cause, or you know what I mean, like I can't go and help at a soup kitchen, or I can't do super amounts of things that I would maybe like to. So we have to pick and choose what things we're going to do. And this year we're doing our Junction Children's Club, it's called the Junction. We're doing a children's club. We are focusing a lot on the things we're doing with the kids, building habits, forming habits that are very important, I think, for our kids, because of course they are the priority in our lives, especially when they're so tiny. and those are kind of things that we're focusing on. So let me know what you guys are focusing on for this coming year, if you're building habits or you've got goals or whatever. It's so interesting for me to hear everyone else's perspectives, especially with people with young kids. If you've got young kids, let me know what your goals are for this year. Is your goal just to survive? Because I feel like that was my goal last year and the year before. We were just we were surviving, like, because it was a tough few years for literally everyone. For us it was not that bad but it was tough in terms of we had a new child and that, so we were just kind of trying to be surviving as best we could and be the best mom that I could. And now I feel like we can move past that a bit and start to thrive within certain areas. So I finished doing my laundry. Now there wasn't very much laundry there, was there? I feel like I did like only a few pieces of laundry. Oh, by the way, this is what Noah wore on Christmas Day, and it's the cutest thing. Like, I forgot how cute little kids look in shirts. Look how cute that little green shirt is. If you head over to my Instagram, you can see a picture of Noah in this shirt, and it's so cute, isn't it? I can't handle, like, still one of my favourite things in the world is dressing my children in cute adorable outfits. Like, so sweet. I think it's just so cute. Okay, I'm trying not to ramble too much, but I'm feeling very tired and like I don't feel very well. So I'm going to talk now about this channel, because in the new year, every person in their life and every YouTube person says, oh, I'm going to change something this year. So I'm going to be that person. I'm going to tell you what I'm changing this year on my channel. And I want to say that I'm not changing a huge amount. So what I'm mainly doing is I'm changing the way that I give you my information. So I've been doing a lot of vlogs, I've been doing a lot of lots of sporadic random videos on different topics, and I'm going to kind of niche down slightly in terms of the topics that I'm covering, but I'm still going to give you the information that I have been giving you. So for example, every Sunday my plan is to release a video like this, if you guys enjoy this, or like a vlog, something like that, something that you're really used to. And then in the other videos during the week, I'm planning to focus on preschool activities and toddler activities, because I think that's a way I can really add value. I really want to add value to your guys' lives in the best way that I can, and I feel like the best way I can add value at the moment is by sharing a lot of activities with you that I do with my preschooler and my toddler. So that's what I'm going to be doing. These are things that I already share with you guys, but in the form of vlogs, and so I'm just going to share them in a slightly different format, slightly more condensed, so that other people will also watch the videos and get value from them. So that's what the kind of plan is, kind of the same content, just kind of repackaged slightly different, in a slightly different way. You guys sometimes ask me how you can support me. If you want to support me more, I have a Patreon, which you can click on the link in the description box below and go and follow me in there if you want to. No pressure, feel free not to, you don't have to. Nothing changes here regardless of whether you go on my Patreon or not. But if you're interested in going on my Patreon and supporting me in that way, then please do that, because I would be very grateful. So those are the main updates for my channel. I'm very excited to continue making loads of videos this year. Leave me comments down below, let me know, or in my Instagram DMs, let me know what videos you want to see, what kind of content you want to see. I'll try and give you the content that you want to see, especially in a Sunday video. I'm going to make that my miscellaneous kind of random video sharing real mum life stuff, whether that's vlogs or hauls or whatever. So let me know what you want to see more of that. Okay, I think that's all I had to say, guys. I'm feeling very happy. I'm really very excited for the year. I hope you guys are feeling positive. If not, then my heart goes out to you. Feel free to message me in my DMs about anything at all. I love to interact with you guys. It's so fun and I really enjoy connecting with you. So please do message me. I love receiving messages from you. And I just hope you've had a wonderful New Year's Day. And yeah, I'm very grateful for all your support over the last year, and I'm looking forward to the coming year ahead. So I'll see you guys in my next one, guys. Bye.